joining us on Bourbon Taste Offs. This is episode number 66, and it's our season premiere. We just got done with our season finale, which was on a boat.
Yeah.
It was on a pontoon boat. So now we're back on solid ground. We're on land, and we've got some new guests here, too. We've got Dave and John. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Todd. Happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
In fact, since we mentioned some names, we'll just go through and say I'm one of your hosts. I'm Todd.
I'm Adam.
And we've got...
I'm John.
And I'm Dave.
There we go.
Awesome.
John, you're new to the podcast.
I am.
What can you tell us about your experience with bourbon, like the progression of it?
I guess it kind of just started with trying to get into something that was less sugary, brown liquor in a glass. You know, starting out with, I think at the time it was just like mid-tier whiskey and working my way up.
Nice, very good. Less sugary than what? What were you referencing?
Oh, like what you drink when you're younger, mixed drinks, stuff like that.
Mike's Hard Lemonade.
No, I was never a Mike's Hard guy.
Four Loko?
No, it was
the original ones, right?
Rum and Cokes, things like that.
Sure. So mixers, that kind of thing, like a Southern Comfort type thing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I only mention that because I know that Adam has a gag reflex to Southern Comfort.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reasons not to be discussed today.
Exactly.
Yeah. Everyone's got that one.
Yeah. John, you've never seen an episode. In fact, you were even surprised when you got here, being I have no idea what I'm walking into.
Yeah.
Dave surprised him for his bachelor party, and he's like, I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah.
And he found out, I guess I'm going to be on a podcast. Okay, let's do it.
It's a great way to have breakfast.
That's exactly.
Yep.
So this is our very first episode of season 2, and very first episode of season 1 was all Wisconsin products. And you guys came in saying, hey, we've got some bottles here. They're all Wisconsin products, so we're going to kind of keep in line with that theme.
Yeah. Wisconsin strong.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, and like last season, we had one from Wisconsin make it all the way through. So maybe, one of these will pop through.
A little bit of Central Standard cabin strength. It was a delicious option.
It was I think, a surprising highlight of the year, I think.
Yeah, and we ended up finishing it that day because it
was that good.
It was that good.
Yeah.
Because I wish I had some for you guys to taste.
But we drank it.
We did drink it. But I'm going to get another bottle anyway.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Sure.
So let's get started. I want to taste some of these Wisconsin options. So we'll have John roll a 4-sided die to see what's going to go against what.
3.
Against. So just roll it one more time.
4.
3 and 4. So that means 1 and 2. So we don't have to change the order.
3 and
So we now organize it between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Because right now we're just going to drink 1 and 2. And we always start with 1. So we're going to nose it, taste it, and then compare it to the next glass. And then we'll pick a winner of those 2.
Okay.
The bottle lineup in this episode is in glass 1. It's Hatch Fellowship Bourbon. It's from Door County, Egg Harbor specifically. It is 90 proof and it uses an heirloom corn. In glass 2 is Eureka. It's a straight bourbon whiskey, single barrel, made at the Hendricks family farm near Eureka, Wisconsin, and it's 86 proof. In glass 3, it's Hezekiah Crane's Harvest from Appleton, Wisconsin. It's 100% wheat mash bill, 65% red winter wheat, 35% malted wheat, and then aged in hand-selected American oak freshly emptied ex-whiskey barrels, which are 80% ex-rye barrels and 20% ex-bourbon barrels, and it's 120 proof. And in glass 4 is Old M28 from Paradise North Distillery in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's a straight bourbon whiskey, aged for 2 years, and is 92 proof. So before we start, we'll do a cheers.
bumps.
And we can't see eyes with your glasses on. But we should stare.
Well, I am. It's you don't know where I'm staring. Right. You know what I mean?
Cheers, guys. Ooh, definitely getting some sweet nose on that. And do we want to compare color maybe too?
Right.
So it's gonna be.
It's a little bit darker than 2.
I think so,
but not
much.
It definitely has that like yellowy.
Yellow and like. But it's not really an amber. It's more of a straw color. Yeah.
Getting natural eyes on. I'm looking at the color here. It's a little darker.
There's a little bit of a funk on the nose.
Yeah.
More ambery.
Yeah.
A funk.
Yeah, we did a Black Fork Farms episode, which is a kind of a farm to glass type feeling. They have their own. I mean, they grow their own grains. They distill it and bottle it, and so they have their own. It's an Indian corn too, so that really just provides a different flavor to it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't interesting.
I wonder why that would be such an Indian corn. Just different nutrients in the soil.
Yeah, no, it's like
Is it through how it grows? How much sugar might be in that corn then?
They actually then smoke it with like
maple
and
other woods to dry it.
Yeah, cherry wood.
So kind of like how like they use like peat to smoke the grains in Scotch.
Yeah.
Right. They do the same kind of deal to dry the corn.
Yeah.
So it has a different kind of funk.
Because Indian corn does have a different starch level than typical corn, so they
Gotcha.
change it up.
Well, that's
and
awesome.
It just kind of reminds us, as far as the nose, has a little bit of funk to it.
Yeah.
So
You get almost like a little cherry medicine kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got something sweet in it. Like it's got like some sweeter notes.
It kind of finishes like cereal, like a frosted mini wheat kind of deal.
I agree. I'm getting some cereal on it. I'm also getting the cherry. Pretty sweet.
Very,
Very sweet.
very much so. Well, and you guys know me. I always, from the last couple episodes, I talk a lot about the heat of things. And, of course, the higher the proof, the higher the heat. And proof is in the pudding, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, no, I think it's going to be an interesting episode because most of these are fairly lower proof. So I'm interested to see how the lower proof bourbons stack up versus a high low.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a very pleasant, mild linger.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and I think the sweet we're getting is more of a grain sweet than like a wood finished sweet.
Right. It was almost like a sweet wheat, like the Ben Holiday.
Yeah.
Soft red. It's kind of a similar thing for that one. Very grain forward.
It is, yeah. Kind of mouth drying too on the finish.
Right. It's really hard to find a proof on that. I'd say proof neutral. Maybe proof neg.
I think it's proof neg, myself.
Can you remind me again?
So we think of. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
We typically bottle and bond is always 100 proof, and so we kind of think a great proof level is always around 100, and so we consider that neutral.
Okay.
So anything under 100 proof we consider negative proof, and then anything over it we consider positive proof.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you for asking, because we also want our viewers to understand that as well.
Yeah,
So,
not just hear about the bourbons, but learn about the bourbons and how that goes. Yeah, absolutely.
what do you think, John, about two?
I
Are you
like-
getting
I
on, like a nose or palate?
I like two a lot. It's lighter. I do get kind of, it feels like a little oakier than the first one, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. I do think the nose on it is less of a funk. It's more of a crisper nose, I think.
Yeah. I have that weird thing where you get something that's normally off-putting in the nose. Like it's almost like a bug spray kind of thing.
Okay.
But like, like when it's that whole like I'm outside having a nice day and you have someone like you just put on bug spray and it has a little bit of that kind of kick coming in the end of it.
Sure.
Almost like, just like, I don't know if that's the ethanol mixing with a little bit of the grains, because it is still another grain forward nose. It's like not super big oaky, not big that way. Like it's definitely not a Texas whiskey. So like having like that, I think that conjunction just pops in my head as like a little bit of that bug spray action going on. Mm-hmm. But it's not a put off, which is weird. We've said it before, like astringent isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
we've had people say, "Oh, this smells like a varnish," and it's like, well, that sounds negative,
But it's not.
it's not. It's just it's the character of whatever that whiskey happens to be, and you're just getting what you're getting. A lot of things come down to the cooperage, the wood that's used, and how young it is, or aged, or how much char it is. So
Right. That one lasted longer on my palate. That I noticed that, and it went higher. I don't know if that's the right word, but you have that heat that lingers on the back of your throat coming down, and it almost like, maybe it's just me, a personal thing, but it almost went up, like through my nose a lot more than the first one did. And then it just kind of hung around.
I think it has a little bit of that, like a little bit of a rye spice to it, and I think that's kind of what you're kicking on for that one. Has a little bit more of that like spice complexity, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I was getting the same kind of thing where it gets down and then kind of hangs out in your sinuses a minute.
Yeah. It 2 in a row. Yeah. It drops, comes back through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have a choice made?
I think I have picked one to win.
Do we want to
I'm
see
not gonna say it.
John? How you feeling about him, buddy?
They're both good. They're both really good. I definitely have a favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what this is about.
What do you got?
About picking out which one. We'll start with you then.
I think the second one for me is the smoother, more well-rounded one.
Yeah. Excellent. I was actually going to go the same route. I'm also going to go with number 2, and I really did like that long-lasting. It wasn't overpowering. Sometimes those hazmat ones, as you would say, they last and they are hot, right?
Yeah.
And this kind of it sparked up, and it lasted a while, and the way it came back in through the sinuses and just lingered smoothly and gently, it just kind of was nice. It was real nice. So I'm gonna go number 2 on that one. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I'm gonna follow the trend. I think they both were kind of similar to me as far as being both grain forward, the flavors from the grain type of thing. But I think I did also agree with you guys that 2 was just I enjoyed just how it lingered a little bit. It wasn't off-putting, and I just enjoyed it. So I picked 2.
I also went with 2. I feel like I wish this one was a little bit older. I think it would do really well with a little bit more of that barrel flavor, a little bit of that oak and char.
I agree.
Because getting a little bit of that like spice vanilla kind of action, and once it sits in that barrel, then you get a little bit more of that and some of those caramels. So like I think like an older version of that one would be much better than like it would be really, really, really good. So, but yeah, I picked number 2. I just like it was more interesting to me.
I agree.
Wow.
Here's to 2.
Unanimous.
Woo!
Cheers.
All right. And now what we do is we go over to 3 and 4 and do the same thing that we just did with 1 and 2. All right, so the first person that's going to talk about the nose and the taste on this one is going to be John.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Pressure's on.
The pressure is on. There shouldn't be any pressure. We're just enjoying some whiskeys, some alcohol. We all enjoy some alcohol.
No better person to lead us into this one.
You're wrong.
Well done.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Okay. Number 3 is definitely much lighter in color.
John's gonna
I'm
You
lagging.
said the smell. You said the smell was I was talking about color.
I'm collecting my thoughts. I haven't even looked at the color yet. The nose is bouncy. Like I don't know how else to describe it, but it's complex. I feel like for me, there's a lot of different layers to it, which I think is different from the 2 previous that we've tasted. And I noticed how it's very silky. The mouthfeel on it is very silky. It's very smooth in that regard. But it does have a punch at the end. I feel like a little bit more so than the other 2.
You are a professional.
Yeah.
Well done. Because I agree with everything you're saying. I think on the nose, you are getting like complexities. You can pick out a scent here, and then it's like you go back to it, and it's like, wait, now I pick out this different scent, and then a different scent. So I do agree with you, and I also agree with you on the silkiness, on the mouthfeel. So
I think, I'm definitely, I think it would, silky sounds appropriate. The way it felt to me was almost cool. You know what I mean? Which I think can be very relatable to silky. You think about silk sheets, you're very cool, you're very comfortable in those. And it was almost a cool forward embodiment.
Yeah.
And then it was very tingly though.
That's the
on the
proof.
tongue. That's the big difference.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't compare the other ones yet, but it was very tingly.
I think that's the proof.
It feels like it.
Yeah. That's enjoyable. I don't know if I've ever had one quite like this. I think it's just different, but it's not unpleasant different. Like I really kind of enjoy it.
I think this is the Harvest Wheat. I think it is.
I'm kind of thinking that too.
Because with the tingly and the lighter nature of it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said it because I didn't want to lead, but I also believe that this is probably the harvest wheat.
Yeah. Just knowing what I've never had it, but knowing what it is. Yeah.
So we do have a little bit of insider knowledge that one of them is 100% wheat.
Yeah.
And it's 120 proof.
Right.
I'm also thinking that these guys are right.
Yeah.
That might be this. I've never had 100% wheat before, though.
Yeah, I thought it was unique.
I do think something cool with number 3 though is it almost tastes fizzy,
Oh, okay.
which is like kind of cool. It's a fun little mouthfeel.
I know what you're saying. It's electric.
Yeah,
it's like
almost
buzzing.
like a little effervescence in the spirit.
You don't think that would be the proof, or is it the
No,
taste?
it totally could be.
Okay.
But it's just, we were talking about like a silky, cooling mouthfeel, and I think it has a little bit of like a fizzle, and I think it's kind of fun.
I like that's very pleasant on the tongue and just very nice.
Yeah.
I would say that. And if it is that higher proof, I'm very impressed with how nicely that sits. For
right.
If that is that 120, I'm very impressed with how nicely that sits on the tongue.
Yeah, where it's not pushing you off the chair.
Yeah,
It's like-
right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Moving on to 4.
We are.
Yeah.
Yep. I had to re-palate or cleanse my palate with water.
Repalate. Get a new one.
I'm surprised there's a lot of these that are very grain forward. I wonder if that's an age thing.
Yeah, because I'm getting that on this 4 now too. And that's why I guess we did mention, that Wisconsin being like sometimes just a lot of young tasting options where it's like we do have some good temperature swings in Wisconsin. It'd be nice to just let them age longer.
Sure.
Let them develop.
Right. Yeah. I do think though, as a state, we do like to not wait that long.
We've never been good at waiting to drink.
Yeah.
I mean, what time is it?
It's the morning.
It's the morning.
It's pre-noon.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
John, what are you feeling, buddy?
It was very consistent for me. Like I couldn't really identify much in the nose, but then when I drank it, I'm like, that's the same thing. Like it didn't really change. It's just very, very consistent all the way through.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The other one, number 3, came off very cool. This tingling, numbing, almost pins and needles came onto the palate. This one, it didn't have that. It actually, I felt it was warm, kind of very warm to the initial taste, and then it just kind of sat in that same spot. No pins and needles, no tingling, no burn down the throat. I think it's proof negative, but very calm. I would call that a calm
that's a good
whiskey.
word. Yeah.
I think going off of what 3 was, I think that might be why that's kind of happening, where it's calmer because you're not getting the pop rocks or the high tingle on the tongue. I kind of disagree with John, only that because on the nose I was getting more of a grain forward thing, but then when I tasted it, I was getting more of like a butterscotch almost, where it's like it doesn't match the grain flavor. Like it's more of a sweet, candied flavor almost.
Yeah, it's definitely like a sweet grain. Right, it's a sweet wheat or a sweet something, like a sweet corn something. And I'm kind of on board with you where it's very grain on the nose, and then when I take a sip of it, it tastes young. Like it's not super complex, right? There's not a lot going on.
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say. Is like it's simple, but in a good way, right?
Yeah,
it's very true to itself.
Yeah, it has its note, and it's just its note kind of through the whole tasting profile.
I guess I can get that the finish is young.
Yeah.
I think if I was going to guess, I think this is the Hendricks family one. Again, I've not had any of them, but just having toured and listening to their product and tasting some of their other spirits, they had that same kind of very even keel through the flavor palette, through the profile, smooth, nothing that really packed a punch at all. It just was calm and just real easy going down.
Just round, no sharp notes.
Yeah, no sharp notes.
I've never had a Hendrix, so I don't know.
I've only had the gin.
Yeah,
sure.
It's interesting that you said that because like the word that first popped in my mind was pure, right? Like it's just very pure, and I'm like, well, these are all pure. They're all pure bourbon, right, or pure whiskey. So that's a silly thing to say, but that's it. Yeah, it's very true to itself, very consistent. Why don't I kick this off then? Because I feel like
awesome.
you guys have the more experience, so I'll come in with like the rookie choice here, and I'm gonna go for 3. I like the journey it takes you on. Starting high, then low, then high, then low. And for me, it's just more entertaining. But 4 is very good.
You say you're a rookie, but you do give a good analysis of the taste.
Yeah.
So we might as well just go in order because I think I know where this is going.
Well, so I'm gonna go at number 3 too. I think there's a lot more going on. I think it's a little bit more complex. I like it feels more proofy to me. So I love my proof. And I'm probably wrong because that's how these usually end up working. But, I really enjoy that fizzy, effervescent, electric kind of buzzy feeling on the tongue on that. I enjoy that. So I'm gonna go at number 3.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to go.
Just go ahead.
Dave, we'll let you sit.
I'll save it for the end.
I'm going to go with 3 as well. It reminds me, so if you've ever had Larceny Barrel Proof, it's a 6 to 8 year, 120 proof wheated bourbon. So it is a bourbon, which means it's more than 51% corn. I think this is probably just a straight wheat, which is going to be over 50% wheat. And I'm also getting the proof. 4, I did enjoy it. Like I mentioned, like a butterscotch. It
reminds you when you were like a 5-year-old, your grandma would give you the Werthers and that.
Yeah.
Like a warm cookie, like a sugar cookie.
Yeah. Calming, very calming.
Yeah, and then the finish was a little off of that. However, it was still pleasant, and I just really enjoyed the 3 with. Thinking of like Larceny because I'm a huge fan of that Larceny. Yeah. So,
wow, this is pretty incredible. I don't know if you guys have had this a lot, but we have another unanimous decision here for number 3. Yeah. And I contemplate and I think about also when you try things, and I psychologically I'm into that kind of thing, but. Could also be the mood that I'm in right now. It's early in the day.
It is. It's still morning.
We're here for a bachelor party. Like right now, I feel like mood also plays a role in what you're looking to do. So when you think about how you're going to gauge your bourbons and your whiskeys and when you're going to have them, what you're going to have, I think if we were later in the day right now, I think I would go number 4 because the energy that I would want from my drink would be of a calm, low-key, relaxed nature, but in the spirit of what we're in the middle of today and this weekend, I'm gonna go with number 3. It was more exciting. Yeah. It seemed more lively, and like you guys mentioned, that took you on more of a journey and more of a trip, versus, number 4 was more like I'd sit in front of the campfire tonight, and that's gonna be the one. But for now, where my world is at and what I'm feeling, that I think my psychological side is going, hey, number 3 is the bomb right now.
We've talked about that too. Like your situation around really changes like how you are going
what
to
you'll want to
whiskey.
experience.
I was just gonna say before we cheers 3 because that's the one that won. I think Dave, you hit it right on the head with there's no more of a true statement than that, because I've had situations where it's like this is such a candied whiskey and then I try it with a cigar and it's like I need something more peppery. Where it's like, I'm not enjoying this. It's too sweet. But it's like, it's not bad. It's like the most delicious thing you can have other than in that situation. Right. So it's like, to me, that's the perfect example of where in the experience that you're in is why you're picking it.
Yeah. And that's something that this podcast brings to life as well for people, helping them understand where you want to go with these decisions. And if you're going to look at, hey, what am I going to get a bourbon or a whiskey for? You go into it armed.
Yeah, these taste-offs give you what is the best in this particular situation. Right. When you're taking it against another one, and it's like 10 in the morning in Wisconsin.
Right. Bachelor party weekend. Like you want the more exciting,
Right. I almost feel like before we start that we have to like tell the audience like what exactly the situation is.
You know what?
It is now 70 degrees outside, and
honestly, that is a really interesting element that I don't think a lot of people capture. Is the moment that you're in the world and how you're going to want to experience and where your journey is going to take you on that. If we were sitting in front of the fireplace right now on a December afternoon, evening,
it could change.
This would be a different situation.
It would.
And I know like a lot of my big crazy Texas whiskeys that I like that are super punchy, super oaky, super charry, and those are not great in July, but they're great in January.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd like to go back to the starting with the weather. I think you should do that because I would change my answer if it was raining.
Fair.
Like
Sure.
this is we're going on the boat, like you said,
Yeah.
sunny day,
Yeah.
afternoon. Like that's it's exciting.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's raining and I just I'm just want something a little warmer, a little smoother, I'd probably switch to 4.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I mean, thank you for saying that, because no other podcast or show ever tells you that it's different with whatever situation you're in.
Yeah.
Right.
And they should, because it has a huge role.
100%.
Huge.
And I know, and we've mentioned it quite a few times, but we actually don't mention
You want more Coke?
the weather.
I mean, you holding back on me there, Todd? I thought it's bachelor party weekend. I thought we were having a good time. What is this? Not the hangover? What's happening right now?
Rolling
On a
around
boat?
Right. You're like, I'm trying to be discreet about sniffing. Here I come out and say, hey, want another roll?
Yeah, I take a bump.
All right, so we came down to 3, and here's to 3. We're going to actually show what the first one out was. It went against number 2, and number 1 happened to be, thank you, it happened to be the Hatch, and I've never had a Hatch before. This is they're all Wisconsin, but this is actually from Egg Harbor, Wisconsin. And Egg Harbor, I think that's in Door County. Is that
Yep.
right
Yep.
off
So
the pinky of Wisconsin?
It's further up north, and one of the things that we thought would be neat about this selection is John's getting married. This is bachelor weekend. John's getting married in Door County on Washington Island at the end of next month.
Oh,
and so we thought this
congratulations.
would
Thank you.
be a neat whiskey and bourbon to have in consideration of
Considering it says
in honor
fellowship
of-
bourbon.
Yep, in honor of his wedding.
Is that 96 proof?
Quick plug for this place because I've been there too. It is awesome, and I believe they make mead as well.
Ooh, fun.
Oh,
Gotcha.
very cool.
90 proof.
I've always been curious because I see it on the shelf, and I'm like, ooh, Hatch. I want to check that out.
Yeah.
We'll get to the other side of the equation. Thank you. And so this one, it was number 4. It went against number 3 and lost out. It's called Old M28 from Paradise North Distillery.
Barrel number 60, aged 2.
2 years.
46%, 92 proof.
We did say it tasted young.
And this is out of Green Bay.
Okay.
So this is out of Green Bay, Old M28. So neat little classic car logo on the front
I
there.
do like
Paradise.
the label.
The label's very nice.
Old M28 is a reference to one of many places of paradise. Typical of many up north locations, this road leads to a place where problems are left behind and one can immerse themselves in everything the North Woods has to offer. Aged in small casks, so it's 2 years, but it's a much
Small.
more surface
Yeah,
area
yeah.
because it's a smaller barrel. The small batch, handcrafted bourbon shuns the woody harshness that can result from extended micro barreling. And that's a good point.
Right.
Like if you're too long in a micro barrel, it can get very harsh. This medium-bodied bourbon has notes of vanilla and caramel, and I picked up butterscotch with a spicy rye kick balanced by sweet, smooth corn.
Nice.
I think that smaller barrels can that lead to, if I'm correct, can that lead to that darker amber color that this number 4 has?
Yeah,
Because that was
kinda.
one of the things that I had mentioned
I think it
earlier.
is.
Is that
Like-
Like
the
Todd was
darkest
saying,
one,
there's by volume, there's more surface area exposed to
Yeah.
the whiskey.
so there's more coloring
Yes.
that'll go on
Yeah.
Because the way bourbon and whiskeys get their coloring is
from the barrel.
from the barrel.
Yeah,
Because
from the
when you
barrel,
distill
absolutely.
it, it's clear.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So it would either, to make sure that I'm understanding correctly, and for the audience here as well, either the longer it's in a big barrel or the smaller the barrel is over a short amount of time, the darker and more amber that's going to come forward.
and it also has to do with like the heat swings and if it's on a boat or a truck or
Yeah.
a heat cycle or they roll
Yeah.
their barrels. There's a lot of things
Sure.
that come up to it, but
Sure.
generally, like one of the ways to expedite that process is by having it in a smaller barrel.
Yeah,
Just because it's more barrel per
sure. That
volume.
But the quicker you extract that wood, the more
Harsher.
tannic and
Yep.
harsher it can be.
What do you
So
mean
that's-
extract that wood?
So typically a good bourbon is like at least 4 years old or longer. The
Okay.
longer it goes, it's getting the flavor from the toasted sap, because that's what you're doing when you char the wood. it's toasting the sap that's in the wood, and it's giving you those flavors. Well, it's got to be drawn out slowly over years and years and years to be smooth and not harsh, and just get the smooth, good, sweet flavors.
Sure.
If it's too quick, it's going too quick, and you're just getting a lot of the stringencies out of the wood, and so that's what can happen with smaller barrels. And so it's a science. I mean, it's so many variables can happen. I mean, you're getting a lot of the wood contacting, or a lot of the flavors contacting the wood on a smaller barrel, but you just have to be careful because it's too quick, and it's
Yeah, because I think too, it's like as it gets older, the barrel becomes like a charcoal filter as well to help pulling those tannins and the sharp abrasive notes out, which is why.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very neat. Very neat.
Very
talking us through some of those things, it's got me excited to compare our 2 first round winners, specifically based on some of the things that we learned about what I know to be one of them now in the tour yesterday. And also very proud of all of us, by the way, for absolutely calling out exactly which ones these 2 were. We are on the head there, and I think I know what's what at this point, but of course, time will tell, and we'll talk about that while we try them.
We will, and to let our palate rest a little bit, we're gonna get to dad jokes.
All right.
I will start. An old man in Reno calls his son in New York the day before Thanksgiving. He says, "I hate to ruin your day, son, but I have to tell you that your mother and I are divorcing. 45 years of marriage is enough." "Pop, what are you talking about?" the son exclaims. "We can't stand the sight of each other any longer," his father says, "and I'm sick of talking about this. So you call your sister in Chicago and tell her." Frantic, the son calls his sister, who explodes on the phone. "Like heck they're getting divorced," she shouts. "I'll take care of this." She calls and immediately reprimands her father. "You are not getting divorced," she says. "Don't do a single thing until I get there. I'm calling my brother back and we'll both be there tomorrow. Until then, don't do a thing. Do you hear me?" And she hangs up. The old man turns to his wife. "Okay," he says, "they're coming for Thanksgiving and paying their own way."
That's good. That's good. I don't think that would work on me. My parents would be like, "Getting divorced." I'd be like, "Well, that sucks."
Dave, it's a joke.
Yeah, I know it is. I can't talk about it.
This one says bumper sticker. It says, "When everything is coming your way, you're in the wrong lane."
When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
That's a dad joke.
Dad joke for sure. What's a mom joke? You know what I mean?
Oh, you're not supposed to do your mom jokes anymore.
There's a whole decade of those, man. There's a whole entire decade of those, man.
Todd comes in and drops the mic on it. I like it.
These are all just real quick one-liners here. I'll just give you a fast one. What? It's so dumb. American guy. "Do you play video games?" French guy. "Oui."
The Wii is a console video game. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My palate is now rested. I'm going to go back
Yeah,
to
I'm
drinking.
very rested after that.
So 2 verse 3.
So it's going to be 2 verse 3.
Man, I'm excited about these.
Yeah.
We were talking about how 3 was lighter, but I mean, they're pretty close.
I barely have any 3 left.
I feel like 3 is a little more yellow and 2 is a little more orange.
2 we did say was negative proof, but I am getting a little pop of flavor.
I'm getting pop of flavor, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah,
to
no,
be,
I
to be
agree.
Positive
Right.
proof. It's definitely negative. I still stand by what I said at this point. Incredibly smooth, incredibly just very mellow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a mellow one. I wrote a long-lasting smoothness.
Mellow is a good word. It's a very good word for that.
I feel if I had it for a long time, I'd get burnt out on it, though.
Fair.
The notes that I get on the nose here, 3 is a little more refreshing, more fruity on the nose.
Yeah.
I get that.
I think 3 is very interesting. Like I said, I don't know if I've ever had an exact example of this,
Right.
but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I really wish they had more oak barrel flavor in them because
Yeah.
I'm a son. I love a lot of that oaky kind of stuff.
I think they're both young. They're not old. They got young legs. They're short.
I hope they
don't have
stashed one of each of these somewhere to forget about for about 6-8 years, and then pull it back out and be like, "Hey, we found a thing."
Whoops.
I'm pretty sure I know what 3 is. I think we know what both of these are, and I thought I was gonna pick 3. Like when we tasted that the first time, I'm like, this is it. This is what I remember.
That
This
was
is great.
exciting.
It's exciting, but you put these two head to head, and I got to switch. I got to go to 2. I think 2 is, for me, like pairing these two together and having it just woken up a little bit with the energy of 3. It's just so smooth. It's 2 for sure.
I'm gonna go at number 3. I think 3 kind of holds up that little bit more complexity going on with it, and then the that fun, like I said before, that fizzy, effervescent kind of electric feel when it's in your mouth is just really fun and cool, and it's an enjoyable drinking experience for me. And I think if you were going to like chill it or put it with anything else other than just straight up, I think 2 would disappear, and I think 3 would kind of carry through. So I'm gonna go with 3.
That's an interesting take on that as far as the carry through if you chilled it. I think it would depend on how you chilled it. If you chilled it without, cutting it with an ice cube, or if you chilled
like
it,
Stones.
or
Whiskey
stones.
Stones,
If you chilled it with stones, I think it would absolutely hold up. So that's interesting. I agree with you that that is still more exciting. But I'm going to vote the other way. I think number 2. I more agree with that. That long-lasting smoothness is actually picked up a little bit because of this palate here, and I think a chill would have the same effect, because if we think about what number 3 gave us, it was that cool, silky feeling, and if that's something that is now adding to number 2's smoothness, if we could, if that was chilled, I think that cool silkiness of number 2's smoothness would really continue to shine through. I think it actually would do better. So I'm gonna vote number 2 on its long lasting smoothness and that variability, I think.
Very good. I guess it does come down to me. I do have the extra vote. I guess sometimes wish I didn't. But I think what's happening is there's a lot of carrying from one over to another. And I think when we first had 3, there was really nothing carrying over to it, and 2 wasn't influenced by having 3 yet. And I was really impressed with number 3. I'm actually going to pick 3. I think when we're talking about hints of like smoothness, we're talking about that tingle, the character of it, just the uniqueness of it even, and complexity. I'm really enjoying that. Like, I'm not going to sit here, it's called Bourbon Taste-Off, so we got to pick a bourbon. No, I'm picking what I think is the best flavor.
Right.
And I'm picking 3 because I think it's really impressive to me and unique. And I'm digging it. So I guess we're going to go with 3. So here's
There
the 3.
it is.
Hey.
Woo! I do love the fact, though, that you guys brought bottles that it came down to like a match off, where it's like 2 people picked one, 2 people picked another.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best scenario. We did have situations where it was unanimous.
Well, interestingly enough, that was crazy that both head-to-heads were unanimous.
Right. So now
Number
we're going to
one loser.
show the number 1 loser, apparently. And this is the Eureka. And you both had Eureka moments when you had it. Because you were like, Eureka, this is what we're picking.
Yeah.
And it's a small batch, single barrel. I like single barrels. You are at the mercy of whatever that barrel is.
Right.
It is a white oak. They do their...
But, I mean, the barrels can all be different.
Right.
Oh,
So
I see.
like you get this one, and then in 4 months you buy another one. You're like, ooh, this was really good last time. It could be a totally different tasting.
Correct.
Yeah,
physical
yeah,
barrel.
absolutely.
Just because of the
Absolutely.
wood,
Yeah.
It is 43%, which makes it an 86.
Ooh, wow.
So that's very
Speaking
low.
of Basil Hayden.
Yeah, you're right. It's only 6 above. And this one is a Wisconsin. We did say this is all Wisconsin. However,
Hendricks Family Distillery.
Hendricks. Where's Hendricks?
Right on the left side of the strip here, right there.
Let's have you.
Yeah, you can tell us about it.
So So this is actually really neat. I'm glad this made it to the final here. And speaking of which, a quick shout out to this distillery, the Hendricks Family Distillery. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for having us out to your facility yesterday and showing us around. You guys are great, and it's so cool what you do. And to tell you guys a little bit about them, they are a completely family-owned and operated distillery. There's the 4 of them. That's it. Mom, dad, 2 sons. Just to give you their long story short, the 2 sons went into different directions. One of them learned more on, he was the technical guy. He was the, how do we create still, that element of the what's the word I'm looking for here? With
Like
that?
the design process.
The design process. The other one went into the trades. He became a fabricator. So he actually hand built every one of the stills, the entire process, the distillation process, hand built and fabricated the entire thing. And it's a marvelous facility. Not to mention every single thing that they've done there, they've built by hand. The buildings, the bar, the distills, the filtrate, everything.
Wow.
They've built everything from the ground up with
Literally,
their own
It makes me
hand.
want to go visit it.
Yeah, it is, and they're super, very kind, very welcoming people. We actually had a great time. We got to fire off a couple rifles as well at the end of it, which was neat. I got a photo
That
of
is
that.
awesome.
So, anyways, let's get back into this a little bit. One of their biggest
Where are they
things-
located, by the way?
In Omro. They're in Omro, Wisconsin, just outside of Oshkosh.
Okay.
Yeah, wonderful place. They are also very well known for their vodka as one of their number 1 sellers, and they do pure class vodka. And we had some samples of that yesterday as well. I know this isn't a vodka podcast, but just a mini shout out again
We're
to
fans
the
of the distilleries and the products they make.
Just a shout out to them. Very, very smooth vodka.
Dangerously smooth.
Oh,
yeah.
dangerously
You put
smooth
ice in that,
vodka,
you don't know that
and
it's not water.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It is wicked and very good. And they have a lot of variety. And also their tastings and tours are absolutely free.
Awesome.
So head on out and you'll taste
awesome.
all like 25 of their things. And,
Nice.
and they're just happy to have you there. So really great people. Small batch single barrel Eureka straight bourbon whiskey, locally crafted since 2011. This was actually the 8th distillery opened in Wisconsin, the 8th distillery to ever exist in this state. They put out their first bottle in 2013, and it wasn't until recently that they started doing bourbons and whiskeys. So they have a completely separate still and everything. They don't run things through the same still. All their clear products go through one, all of their brown products go through another to keep the purity. And that's one of their big things, is keep the purity of what it is that they're crafting. And they do a marvelous job of
That's
it.
interesting.
So here we go. Eureka is a shout of joy upon discovering something rare and marvelous. Before they built the distillery, the Hendricks family raised majestic elk at their farm outside of Eureka, Wisconsin. Now they commemorate their history and love of the area. The Hendricks Family Distillery proudly presents Eureka straight bourbon whiskey fermented in small batches from Wisconsin's top select grains and slow aged in new charred oak barrels for ultimate quality and a smooth taste.
Nice.
So there's an actual town called Eureka.
The town next to Armour is called Eureka.
Oh.
Yep, they have 3 bars and 1.5 churches.
I thought it was just half a church. I thought
Oh,
they
it's just a
share-
half
they
a church?
They
Is
share,
that what it was?
they share
Oh, they
with the
share.
town
Oh,
That
over.
sounds
yeah.
like a Wisconsin
And a
radio
half,
show.
3 bars and a half a church. That's,
Every other weekend, you get.
Oh,
custody
that's
of
right.
churches.
That's right. She did say she goes to church every other weekend,
Oh, nice.
depending on which town is hosting it. So, really, really unique family, really great people.
And I like the label too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and actually, and it doesn't show it on here, but one of their main logos is they are a former elk farm. They still have 2. So part of their tour is going out and feeding the elks.
Oh.
And it's kind of fun. It's a
Nice.
neat little experience. But one of their main logos is the 2 elks going head to head as a graphic. And their names were, what were they?
Buddy and Gump.
Yeah, that's right. It was Buddy and Gump. So really
Nice.
neat place. So, yeah, their big thing is they wanted the purest. Everything that they have, they started very locally, and unfortunately, to some other companies, their changes, they've had to outsource some of their things, to Poland. They do
To get their potatoes for the vodka.
For the vodka and all that. They also have, interestingly enough, they have a potato whiskey, which is, according to the federal government, not a thing. They've created a whiskey out of potatoes, which they're like,
Are they
whiskey
just like,
isn't out of potatoes.
Are they just like oak aging vodka?
that's what I was just going to say.
Is that what it? Is that what it was?
Basically, but
Yeah.
they're making it from potato.
Yeah.
They're not using it's not a corn base.
I'm actually
Yeah.
surprised that they're actually outsourcing something because like Plover and like that area is not that far away, and it's one of the largest
they used
producers
to-
of russet potatoes in the country.
That's where they started. So from 2011 to 2021, was it? Something like that.
It was recent, yeah.
It was very recent. They did all of theirs straight from Plover,
Yeah.
all contracted through there, and everything was locally sourced. Everything is natural. There's zero artificial anything anywhere along their process. And a new company came in, like new owners of the company that they were working with came in, and they were just like, "We're not servicing you anymore." So they just had to find.
Gotcha.
They had to find another solution to find the same product. So
nice.
All right.
luckily they did, and go Poland, and for them, and we'll go from there. So yeah, great place. Check it out, and it's a damn good bourbon. So
Nice. So
All right.
the winner.
We are going to go to the winner right here, and it is number 3, and it's a Hezekiah Crane Harvest, and it's 100% wheat American whiskey. It's 120 proof. It's got like a carbine on the front. Hezekiah Crane Harvest is all sourced, mashed, distilled, and aged in Wisconsin.
At least we don't have any
wheat
tariffs
mash
from
bill
there.
distilled from a mash of 65% red winter wheat, 35% malted wheat. Batch 001 was aged in hand-selected American oak, freshly emptied ex-whiskey barrels, 80% ex-rye barrels, and 20% ex-bourbon barrels. So they're resourcing
They're
their
getting
barrels.
their flavors too from the barrels.
You're right.
Interesting.
That is interesting. That's
is
why
cool.
that was
Well, it's
very
like-
that's why
tasty.
it's probably so exciting. There was so much complexity
Well,
going
yeah,
on
and
there.
it's
We
like when you
noted that
have-
a bunch.
They might source their barrels, which would make sense.
That's what I
but
think
I don't
it is,
think they're
because it
sourcing
says
their
distilled
spirit.
and bottled by Distillery Partners
Yeah.
in Plover, Wisconsin.
Dude, I totally called that.
You
I
did.
didn't know it. You just said
Would
potatoes.
that be
I'm
Great
like,
Northern?
Yeah, Great Northern does this one. I actually know a little bit of the history on this. You cannot buy this.
How did you get it? Did you steal
Yeah.
it?
They
He broke in.
well,
He snuck
you
behind the
can't
counter
buy it
and
because they
snatched
don't
one.
make it anymore. This is a one and only run.
Wow.
They were contracted to make this for another company, and they made it according to what they were looking for, and the deal fell through, and they just had all of this specialty wheat-based whiskey.
We just had a unicorn.
I know.
Never again.
I know.
Never again. And that's the new theme actually for this season, which
Is never again?
is well, it's now more battle bottles where it's like we're not holding this onto this where it's like we're gonna taste it against other monthly winners or
Yeah.
episode winners. We're tasting it, we're finding out what the winner is, and we're just gonna let that be its thing. So
Let
it's
it be
like
what it be.
so you're lucky that you get to take it home with you after
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Because now that it won, usually we keep it here so it can compare itself against other things. But it became such an ordeal with just the organizing, like a whole year of taste-offs,
Yeah.
that we're changing it to just more of a, this episode, this is the winner, let it be. Let it be
Sure,
its thing.
sure.
So
Sure.
thank you
This
for
is
sharing
really
that.
cool,
That's
thank
amazing.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And whoever's making this, like, you missed out on keeping and
Seriously.
picking your product because
That-
that's very, very good.
That deal that you let fall through, you
Yeah.
missed out.
Wrapped up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now all the viewers and listeners are like, I want to taste that.
Yeah, well,
Good
sometimes you just
Right.
gotta
Hey,
message in to Todd, talk about a rare whiskey or bourbon, and I'm sure you guys might get an invite to the show and join this wonderful, fun experience.
I will ask John
If
Since-
you're doing that, I don't know.
since-
Maybe I just started something.
No, you're good.
since we're on audio, I want to get I'm kind of trying to negotiate getting like a 2-ounce pour after this, just to kind of save it in like in a jar.
Ooh.
Is it possible that we can get like a 2-ounce?
We can talk about that. Yeah, there's.
Well, we're talking about it right now. I want to be confirmed.
There's a deal to be made
on,
there.
on air. I got a recording of you saying
Yeah, I think we can get you some of this.
That'd
for
be
sure.
fantastic
Yeah.
because it was delicious, and I would.
Did you
love
guys only buy one?
I think this was my soon-to-be wife actually got this for me, and this
She's
was
a keeper.
You should keep her.
I
Yeah.
plan to.
Yeah.
I plan to. That's
That's the whole point.
Part of that's why we're doing this. Yeah. This was the last bottle because they have a really beautiful tasting room and they have all their bottles out along the wall. And we had been going there and watching this row shrink and shrink and shrink. And I knew that I liked it because they had it there at the time. And she was there with some friends. And there was one bottle left in the row, and she bought it. So this is actually the very last bottle that was sold.
What is your fiance's name?
Emily.
Emily?
Shout out to Emily, you guys.
Way to go.
Shout out to Emily.
Wow. Fantastic.
Yes.
Emily, I think John is very happy with your decision, and I think he's going to be happy with his decision to marry you. You sound like a keeper. We really appreciate you watching and listening. Please make sure you like and subscribe. See you next episode.
Take it easy.
That is true.
Speech. It's a best man song.
I can. Oh, guys, no, I can't do it. I tried the singing thing. I sang my wedding vows.
Right, I
I
remember
know.
that.
That's why I was saying.
Oh,
you're singing
that's-
your-
We remembered.
Mistake. You guys are good guys. Mistake.
I don't know.
I could do a poem though.
I
I
think a lot of people were touched by it. I think
Yeah.
it was-
Yeah, in a negative way. Was that, they felt bad after that.
Not like an Epstein kind of thing. Like a normal, like touch, like it's emotionally good.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, I was just making sure. He's like, a lot of people are touched. Making sure we're good.
Yeah, I wasn't pulling Epstein vibes at my wedding, you guys.
And just a reminder, you can listen to our content on Apple Podcasts, Podbean app, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. And you can watch our content at YouTube and Rumble.